I don't know if we're up. We're not up. She can't hear
yet.
you. You're talking to yourself.
You know, I watched last night. The audio and lips is perfect.
Because of the new.
Maybe that's what it is, but it's
probably.
But also online. I don't know where people get unless going to Facebook and YouTube switches it back and forth.
Did you see what's his face isn't going to Rikers now?
Yeah.
The Justice Department stepped in.
Well,
Wait,
boy, were they trying to fuck him over.
Wait, who isn't?
Trump's Manafort. He's in federal prison. They were going to transfer him to Rikers Island.
What? That would kill him. But why were they going to do that?
Because vindictiveness, man. They were fucking. They wanted to kill him.
New York.
Yeah.
New York.
Bunch of fucking liberals didn't like Trump's guy.
But what was the grounds for transferring?
They wanted to transfer him.
Well, state charges. You're going to charge him state.
There has to be a reason.
Thank God he had federal charges because they had to approve it.
Yeah. So with the state charges, a lot of times they'll hold you in Rikers.
Do you know literally?
Yeah, but they were saying sending them there.
No, seriously. Do you know in Rikers, there's a whole society. You remember?
Dude, that's
Ian.
his whole story.
Ian, it's.
They
it's
had
so
what they
scary.
called an SOS out on this kid, a stab on sight, with a big bounty on his fucking head. He was lucky to get out of there alive.
And it just happened the next morning. The marshals came to grab him to transfer him.
Because he was facing other charges
And he
here
said
in
he was up
Colorado.
all night. He was up all night, didn't know what to do.
And the guards are as good as in on it.
Yep.
Wow, that's scary.
He's an MMA fighter on his. He's really working the card up now.
Number
But he came out. He found
32?
God. The whole bit.
Oh, I
man.
thought he was.
No, he's in the top 20 now.
He hasn't lost a big fight.
Is that wonderful that we know him because we know he's going all the way? We know it.
Unless they
The
get-
man.
That's the sport though, where you can all in.
But
in
he's
one
been
fight.
more determined than anyone I've ever known.
He just loves the sport.
That's a tough sport.
Oh man.
Barry Fay tried.
Well, Tom's pretty good at it. You're right. It's right
I'm
up
the
there
bet-
with racquetball.
Jeez. You wouldn't believe what a badass I
You
am.
should see him in the ring.
Yep. Too bad we don't have a ring around. I could show you.
Too bad there's not a cage on this floor. He'd show you.
You know, a couple of Broncos actually train at this.
Hey, wait! They just built one on the
That's
third
a little
floor.
inside joke about me bragging. It's funny.
The guy says, I like doing it, I just like tuning up.
You're not into MMA, huh?
Oh, I'm awesome. In fact,
Man, I wouldn't know what to do. You threw me in a cage with one of those guys.
I'd be like,
I'd get the hell out of there.
I'd be running around.
Very quickly. That would be a horrible thing.
Oh no.
I'd go into the fetal position and start slapping my hand.
Can you tap out before you touch it?
Yeah, just as soon as that bell rings, I'm fetal, tapping.
yeah.
Do you know people? There are certain personalities that actually they thrive on that. I mean, they like they're
Ian.
not even afraid.
No, God, no.
I mean, but really, they're not afraid. I mean, they like it.
Grant's calendar
That's
isn't
fucked
working
up.
either for Gmail, so it's definitely a Gmail issue.
That's fucked up. I mean,
It's an adrenaline rush for him.
that's way more than that. Don't you think it's?
Yeah.
They don't mind getting punched in the face.
Now, Tom Martino.
Hey, I'm Tom Martino. This is the Troubleshooter Show. I'm a consumer advocate, but really I'm a people advocate. Any problem, any question, any complaint. We used to say consumer problems. Now we just say any problem. Why? Because we can help you. And if we can't, we'll just let you know. But it's better that we don't limit the show. I've been solving problems, if you count all of my career from New York to Florida to North Carolina to here to more than 40 years. And nearly 40 years in Denver. Welcome to the only show of its kind anywhere. Radio and TV, and now just radio. Well, I do some TV, but the TV I do are commercials. And if you want to know about me, referralist.com, about Tom, about us. We have a good team here of people to help. That's what makes it all work. 303-713-TALK. We have a special guest today, Joe Lazzara, attorney at law. Joe is so busy, he seldom gets to drop by, so we feel privileged. He's here. He handles DUIs, shoplifting, assault, neighbor versus neighbor, all of those imperfect things that happen to us. Let's face it. It's just not something we ever plan on. We've had moms, soccer moms, charged with DUI. We've had Women charged with assault and battery, resisting arrest, ridiculous things. We've had neighbor versus neighbor where it gets terrible, disturbing the peace, public intoxication, just having a few beers out on your yard. You know, not everyone is a hardened criminal who needs a defense attorney, but Joe can also help hardened criminals. 303-713-8255. I often wondered, we're going to do more than talk about criminal defense, of course. Taylor wants to talk about a landlord. Kevin wants to talk about Nikon. Mike wants to talk about a DUI. Lou wants to talk about a handyman. But, Joe, this is a question, you know, I don't think I've ever really gotten an answer from anyone, but we hear this all the time, okay? Especially if I do commercials about you. Why do you have defense attorneys? Oh, we all know that we need an adversarial system of justice where you make the prosecutors prove their case. We understand that. I hope we do. I mean, truly, if you're ever falsely accused or accused by mistake, you'll know the value. Or where there's a difference of opinion, and you're saying, well, I don't think I assaulted him. I think I was defending myself. But I want to ask, this is something everyone asks, okay? Everyone. Joe, everyone has asked you this, I'll bet. At one time or another, you're asked this. How do you defend someone you know is guilty? I wonder what your answer is going to be, because I know what a lot of attorneys say.
Doing criminal defense, I don't really look at whether they're guilty or not. I don't ask that question.
That's right. I was just going to say that. You don't know if they're guilty or not.
I don't know. I'm there to protect them.
Does a defendant ever say to you, or you never ask, did you do it? Never.
Never.
Never. And because no attorney wants to knowingly know anything. But what if a guy says, look, I did it, Joe. I did it, but I need help.
And we do get those clients. And what we're trying to do in that situation is to minimize their penalties, minimize what they're up against, and really work with them. The fact that they're accepting responsibility is sometimes a good thing.
But these are questions everyone asks. So I'm going to ask again. Are there people you just don't want to represent? They're scumbags. Or have you turned down clients because of it?
Occasionally we do. Sometimes for us, we want to make sure that we represent a client that we get along with and that wants to work with us and does not have unreasonable expectations.
I mean, or what about someone you know? See, this is wrong, too, because you don't want to put yourself in the position of a judge. But what about some scumbag that you personally have bad feelings that if he gets out, he's just going to do more of the same? I mean, you don't have to answer this, obviously, because defense attorneys are probably asked this all the time, but I just wonder about that. If you know that, because I make judgments, we all make judgments. That guy's a scumbag. I don't like him. He doesn't feel good. I mean, they still deserve a defense.
Absolutely, and that's what we're paid to do, and that's what our job as a criminal defense attorney is to make the prosecution prove their case and follow the Constitution. Make sure that they, cross their T's, dot their I's, and do everything absolutely right. And as long as they do that, go from there.
So you don't ever feel bad about, here's what I love when somebody is found not guilty, they got off. Why not? They weren't guilty. In some cases, though, there are cases where they got off.
There are. And sometimes, like you said, they're innocent and they're wrongfully charged. And that's the job of criminal defense attorney. That's the job of our adversarial system.
I mean, we want it to be difficult to send someone to jail. Can you imagine if just, like I hear people see media reports and they say, why do we have to go to trial? Just send him to jail. A theater shooter. Send him to jail. I mean, we know he did it. Why do you have to have a trial in that case? I mean, we know he did it. I mean, or do we? I mean, do people argue he didn't do it at that point, or do they argue there were extenuating circumstances? What happens in the mind of a defense?
Usually you're arguing extenuating circumstances or some other issue. A lot of times on those cases when somebody is absolutely guilty, and I've had jurors ask me, if he's charged and he's sitting there, why doesn't he just plead? But the question becomes, what if you're in that seat next time? when do you draw the line if you're just going to send people to jail without the right to trial?
Oh, God, that would be scary. Because I know, seriously, there are a lot of people that don't like me. And somebody might accuse me of something, and they'd actually believe it. They might base it on something they heard on the radio. Oh, yeah, he sounds like angry. I bet you he did beat the hell out of that guy. Or I bet you he did. No, seriously, people cast judgment on me all the time, or on people they don't even know. That would be a hell of a thing. That would be frightening. I was falsely accused, as you know, Joe. Mark, what about you? Do you ever see people and think, why the hell are we wasting our time?
No. I mean, occasionally there's some crazy people out there like the Joker or whoever shot all the people at the theater. I mean, my God, everybody knew he did it. I kind of wonder why that guy's just not dead right now, honestly.
And then we have, Timothy McVeigh.
And he admitted everything.
So when someone pleads guilty, there is no trial, right? Or is there?
No, once they plead, they're accepting responsibility, oftentimes to a reduced charge, and then it's up to the judge to impose an appropriate sentence.
You know what I witnessed one time was a guy that the DA, actually it was the U.S. attorney, said he should get 10 years. And the judge came back after hearing victim impact statements, and the judge, instead of doing what the U.S. attorney said to do, actually bumped it to 15 years. I didn't know in a plea deal that the judge can override whatever it is. Is it that way in a criminal trial?
It is, and I've seen judges reject plea bargains simply because of the facts of a case or the victim's statement. They've absolutely just rejected the plea bargain and said, I'm not going to accept it.
Oh, my God. Okay, let's talk. Mike, what did you want to talk about, Mike? And we have one line open at 303-713-TALK. Because we are live on Facebook, live on YouTube, live on the iHeartRadio app, and you can also download us. A lot of people don't listen live, and they wonder, what do I do for help? At this very moment, 24/7, if you're listening at midnight, you can call 303-MARTINO. You put your name in, give us a number, we will get back to you. 303-MARTINO. 303-627-8466. Mike, what do you have about DUI, bro?
My question is this: I was arrested for a DUI on prescription medication. Wrecked a vehicle. Was never read my rights per Miranda.
Now, what do you mean you were arrested? So you admit that you were doing what? Some painkillers, some cold medicine, some what?
Just normal pain medication that was prescribed by the doctor.
And did it make you drive erratically, do you know?
No, I've been on this pain medication for 7 years.
Why were you stopped?
I wrecked the vehicle.
Oh, you wrecked before. Oh, okay. So they came to the wreck, and did they notice you were tipsy? Did they do a roadside? What did they do?
They did a field sobriety test, but the problem is I'm disabled and I have bad nerve damage in my legs and my back and stuff, and I tried to explain to the officer that I couldn't do the heel to toe, I couldn't stand on one foot. Come to find out after the fact.
Were you taken to jail?
Yes, sir, I was.
Okay, so what is your question?
My question is the officer never read me my rights. At what point during the DUI arrest are they required to read me my rights?
Joe.
Yeah, Miranda is a very confusing topic. The only time they're required to give you Miranda advisement, which is the right to remain silent, the right to an attorney, etc., is when you're subject to what's called custodial interrogation. You're in custody and you're being questioned. So if they question you beforehand, have you been drinking, where are you coming from, what prescription drugs did you take, that's all permissible.
What?
So part of the questions, when a police officer contacts you, have you been drinking?
Do you have to answer?
You don't have to answer.
Okay. Now, that does not have to be Mirandized.
No. Only once you're subject to custodial interrogation. You're in custody and being questioned.
Okay. Hold on now. What's the difference? They can get the same information. It can be just as harmful. Shouldn't you be told that, shouldn't you be told that this could be held against you?
As a defense attorney, yeah, I'd argue that every day, but it's considered investigation. So it's part of their investigation. They're asking questions to determine whether or not they have probable cause. Once they have probable cause and they arrest you, then Miranda kicks in.
Okay, so Mike, your case was you were arrested. They never read you anything. Did they ask you questions?
Yes. He asked me about my medication, how many I had taken, what I had taken, etc.
Before the arrest?
Yes.
Then they arrested you. Did
Yeah.
they sit you down under a hot light and start asking more questions?
No, didn't ask me anything after that. But
by the way, if you had been on these meds for a long time, are you intoxicated? I'd like to talk about that. I want to know, when are you intoxicated?
You get a lot of prescription cases.
Not bad.
How does a cop know? He can just tell they're
Tom,
impaired.
1 minute.
And then the blood test says everything.
But, you know, even though it comes back, let's say, oxycodone or whatever, is it within the therapeutic range?
Yeah.
Can you
refuse, if the cop thinks it's medication compared, or drugs compared to alcohol, can you refuse a blood test, or you have to take a blood test?
So,
Or does it work just like...
arrested, so if you refuse, you're potentially looking at losing your license for
I knew that with the breathalyzer, but same with the blood test.
Yeah. So if you refuse the chemical test, you're looking at a loss of license.
Got it.
If you take the test,
Wait, if you refuse breathalyzer too, right?
Yeah.
breath or blood.
Okay, guys, we're going to be doing a spot.
That's Napa Know-How at participating Napa Auto Parts stores.
Yeah. You can refuse it at the car.
You've heard me talk about Fix-It 24/7 for plumbing, heating, cooling, electric. The $39 people to find a problem, $39. No matter how long it takes, $39. If you have the work done, they credit you the $39, and you'll never get better value, better experience, better skills. It's a great company. But now there is something you can get absolutely free. No call charge, no $39. And it's something that is imperative that will never, ever, ever, ever do you wrong. Free second opinions. Have you been told you need something with HVAC? A furnace, an air conditioner, a water heater, maybe electrical service. You get a free second opinion with Fix-It 24/7. And here's the important thing. They can't just say, oh, well, you don't need that, unless they really mean it. And if they think they can beat it, they have to beat it. So you can't get hurt by this. Free second opinion. Fix-It 24/7. FixMyHome.com. 720-526-3939.
Even in my own home, I had
25 seconds, QC manufacturing long.
Oh, I love that. I love that.
a friend of mine.
God,
said,
I love doing commercials for them.
Look at that thing.
The Jewel, and so I went out and I bought one.
Look at that. Look at that dash. That is the cleanest thing I've ever seen.
What is this? What are you talking about, Mark?
The Genesis SUV.
Yeah, no. You want the twin turbo.
No, I think I'm going to go with
that's
the
an SUV?
SUV.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, look at it.
Wow. That's full profile.
Okay, guys, I'm up. Quiet Cool QC Colorado.com. That's the name for the whole house fans. Some people call them attic fans, but it's remotely mounted, meaning it has a small duct and it keeps the thing in the attic where you can't hear it. It's a beautiful installation. It took less than an hour at my home, and it's all remoted, so you don't need wiring. They give you this beautiful little wall panel you can carry with you or mount on the wall somewhere. And here's the deal when it comes to QCColorado.com. I have used my air conditioner 1/3 of the time since getting this. I have never purchased a product ever where I found immediate benefits like that day. Within 10 minutes, my house was cooler. It remained cooler. I love QCColorado.com. You will too. Get an evaluation. 720-398-4510. 720-398-4510.
Guys, John Elway here for American Financing. Whether you're looking to buy,
You know, the thing with those quiet cools, though, you should never use the basement
American
air.
Financing.
Never.
You don't want to mix the cold air with the
Never.
other.
During the day, always go
You know what?
open up the upper windows.
You open up the attic and then put the fan
Suck the
in the
air
basement,
out of the attic.
into the basement.
Hey, listen, why couldn't you, in cold weather, suck out that hot air?
Probably because it's not hot.
Could you use?
It's
Oh,
not
that's
hot.
right. So listen, do you realize the benefits of having 3 to 4 air, or 5 or 6 air exchanges per hour? Can you fucking believe that? Your whole house is exchanged, except as he said, for allergies. But that's why the basement air is only temporary.
For allergies, for sure, yeah.
But I'll tell you,
Suzanne's allergies aren't that good. That's why I haven't done one.
You know what they do for that, though, now?
Yeah, you hear this? I've never heard this.
They turn your screen into a filter. They have a HEPA screen
that
smart. Takes out all allergens. In fact, will help you with allergies.
Did you put one of those in?
No, because we don't have any allergies. But you know what?
Plus, you're not out in the woods like we are.
Yeah. A HEPA screen. So you isolate the windows you're going to open and put in a HEPA screen.
That's smart, actually.
Oh, my God. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. It's the best air filter. You know,
our cycles, our fan that runs everywhere in the house cycles pretty damn good, man.
Oh, do you know what? There is a discussion online, again, I'm not doing this discussion, where the furnace and air conditioning fan on automatic can do almost as well as a whole house, but I don't think so.
Mine's on all the time.
Hi, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Joe Lazzara here. We're talking about criminal defense, but we're also going to talk about other things, so please don't get discouraged. We're talking about all kinds of stuff. Joe Lazzara's been on my referral list for many, many, many years. Okay, listen. This hour brought to you by who? The best of the best of the best as a person, as a business person, and as a friend, Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. He runs his business so efficiently, you think you're the only customer. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com, 303-920-1622. Jason has a question. Go ahead, Jason. And Taylor, hang on. Kevin, hang on. I haven't forgotten about you. Jason, go ahead.
Yeah, I got a question for the attorney. I don't live in Denver.
Okay.
I was driving through on the 27th, and I pull off to there was a Walmart there. And
where do you live, sir? Where do you live?
I live in Florida.
Okay, where?
Orlando.
Okay, cool. So what's going on? You were driving?
Yeah, I was driving, so I pulled off the road because I was kind of tired and I wanted to let my dog out. And we were in a new warehouse development, and I'd been there for a couple hours, and the cops come, and they started questioning me and all this. And then they ended up writing me up a trespassing ticket.
You were in a parking? Were you in a parking lot?
I was in a. It was a brand new warehouse that was completed. There's just no tenants there.
What do you mean in a warehouse?
In a parking lot, yeah. In the you know I was.
But you weren't in the warehouse itself.
No, I was just in their.
Okay.
In their parking lot.
That's weird. And there were no trespassing signs or anything?
No, I didn't see any.
Okay. So what were you charged with? Trespassing?
Trespassing, yes. And
that's weird.
I thought that you normally would get a warning, and if you ever come back again, they charge you with that. But the officer wrote me up right away.
That's weird.
So I'm now passing back through. I'm going to go take some pictures of the place tomorrow or tonight.
Joe, does there have to be a no trespassing sign?
There doesn't have to be a sign at all.
But what if it's open to the public like this?
So this is what's causing me some concern is it's a parking lot. It's open to the public. It's a completed building. How's he trespassing?
You know what? They might just have a hair up their butts. Were you a wise guy?
No, absolutely not. No.
I don't know, man. That sounds weird to me. Did you ask politely, officer, why am I being charged with trespassing?
I was talking to one, outside my truck while the other one was writing me up, and we were just chit-chatting and whatnot. And, he said there's nothing he can do. It's up to that officer. He's the officer in charge.
So you can fight this. Go ahead. What's your question?
Yeah, well, I was going to go take some pictures and then just show up at court. I'm not currently working. That's why I was driving through different states, conducting some interviews. I just would hope that they would see the pictures and, either give me a public defender or just dismiss the charge.
Well, what about a public defender, first of all?
Well, with regards to public defender, he's probably not eligible. Is this a Denver case?
No, sir. It's City of Aurora.
Okay. You're probably not looking at jail, so they're not going to give you a public defender, but definitely take the pictures, show up to court. I would hope they would just dismiss this thing. If there's nothing that's prohibiting you from coming on to a parking lot.
Yeah, I mean, that's weird.
Yeah.
That's just weird. I would just say, Your Honor, I was tired. I went to sleep, or I just pulled over. There were no signs. I had no malicious intent. I mean, I think the guy will throw it out, but, if you're really concerned, I don't think it'll bother your record much, but, I'm never going to say don't hire an attorney. Joe, okay. I have a feeling, I'm just saying this, that criminal defense attorneys that know their way around can just get this taken care of. Just totally, I mean that. You make a few phone calls, Joe, and say, come on, man, what's going on? They're going to say, forget it. That's what I have a feeling. Is that right or wrong?
Yeah, because you got that relationship with the DA. The DA does not want to take a case like this to trial.
Yeah. So I'm saying, Jason, it might behoove you to give Joe a call or something.
How do you qualify for a freebie?
With us or with public defender?
No, not with you, for a public defender. I mean, like, you've got to make like zero, right?
Right. I don't know the exact limit, but it's under, I think, $11,000 if you're an individual and they have different standards.
But you said something about
no
jail.
one qualifies.
You said something about jail.
So, yeah, the offense has to be an offense that carries a jail sentence. So.
Oh, okay. 303-713-8255. Taylor.
Hello. Hi.
So what's going on with you?
So I am currently I just have a lot of questions about
Okay, go ahead.
tenants' rights and
Okay. Now, tenants' rights. Are you renting a place already or are you applying to rent?
No, I actually just got out of a lease that I was living in for 2 years.
Okay. So you were in a place 2 years and you're looking for a new place?
Yes, but the reason I have these questions is because of my previous place that I just got out of.
What are your questions? Just ask them.
Okay, so I have received the steps as to why the landlord is keeping a security deposit.
Yeah, and they have to tell you that in 30 days or 60 days if they extended it in their lease to 60 days, but never beyond 60. So you got the notice within the allotted amount of time, I assume, and what is the explanation?
Well, the explanation is that he is going to be keeping our deposit because I lived in the house with 4 other individuals, and he is going to be keeping our deposit of $3,000 and charging us an extra $5,000.
Okay, so he's saying $8,000 in damage.
Yes, basically, yes.
Okay, why?
There was dog damage to the backyard.
Okay. Now,
yes,
you don't deny the dog damage.
Oh, no, absolutely not.
Whose dog?
It was mine and my roommate.
Okay, so what are you going to do about it? I mean, what's your question?
Well, my question is, after he took out all of the steps and wrote them down, am I supposed to just take it for face value?
Not necessarily. No. You have a right to have them justify any cost. For example, let's say there was a 15-year-old carpet. That carpet is on its last leg. Let's say it was just cheap carpet, 15 years old. They want to replace it because of the dog. Well, you can depreciate that, or you could say it had no value. You can argue value all day long. They're not allowed to charge for normal wear and tear, normal use. What they can only charge for damage. Now, or there's another one. You can have what's called a cleaning deposit. But here's the deal. You have to make the argument. If you feel they're overcharging you, you can ask it to be justified. In other words, the way you do that is you wait till they come and try to get the extra $5 and you go before the judge, or you sue for your $3,000 back. I mean, you can be the plaintiff or the defendant.
Okay. Is it right for me to ask for bills and estimates?
It's totally right. He doesn't have to provide them, but he'd be a fool not to. If you make a request, make it in writing so a judge can see. If you do ever have to fight, Your Honor, all I wanted to do is see it, and he said no. I mean, you want to. I've always said this, Joe. The person who tells the best story to the judge wins. Not because the judge wants to understand. If one guy's confusing and non-chronological and non-linear, and another person is systematic and consistent, it's even if he's not right, he seems to be right. He makes it easier for the judge.
Yeah, and it is really telling a story. How can you convince somebody?
That's right.
And a judge doesn't know what's going on.
It's the person who tells the best story to the judge. That's why attorneys go so far as to write up a decision. They actually write up an order or a decision for the judge to simply sign. Do you realize that? I mean, so in your case, it's a simple case. You have a right to ask for anything in writing. Now, if they don't, then you have an absolute right to get it in discovery if they sue you or if you sue them.
Okay, so that makes sense. I guess because he wrote out the security deposit and why he's keeping them and charging us for additional charges.
Right.
He is saying that if we were to pay $2,800 of the remaining $5,000, that he will take care of the other $3,000 and he will let us go. But if we don't pay for the $2,800, then he will take us to court.
That's called negotiating.
Okay. So I guess my question is, he gave us this the 10th of June, and we have until the 30th to pay the $2,800.
So what is your question?
Is the allotted time allowed?
He can give you as much or as little time as he wants.
Okay.
The courts only look at what is reasonable. No one defines that. In some cases, reasonable is 3 days. In other cases, reasonable is 90 days. It really depends. If you have more questions, hang on.
This report.
What courts deem as reasonable.
Yeah. She seems pretty young.
My heart goes out to young people that try to do the right thing. But
that's a lot of money, though.
But you know, I can see some kids like this, they don't have any regard. My kids do that much damage just staying with me for a weekend, so I can imagine. I mean, I mean, think about leaving kids. Mark, I don't know, your kids are old enough now, but...
Yeah, let me tell you, I've left
Have you ever
them.
just left for
I'd much
2 hours
rather have left them when they were
younger?
little.
Have you ever just left and come home and it's a frickin' mess? You just can't believe it.
Suzanne left one time, and we didn't realize, when Addie was like 3, we didn't realize she wasn't with us.
For the weekend?
We flew to Florida.
How long did it take you?
Hey, that time you forgot Addie.
We're up.
She'll love when I phrase it that way.
You can get Aurora Orthodontics and TMJ treatment and be done with sleep apnea, be done with TMJ, and have a beautiful smile at the same time with a beautiful permanent smile, and it'll all be done. It can all be done in 2 years. Now listen. You want to avoid, if you can, a mouthful of just veneers because they just cover up problems if you have them. You know, minor cosmetic surgery, fine. But when we're talking about a whole mouth due to a narrow palate, you got to correct it. And that's what Aurora Orthodontics and TMJ does for adults in just 2 years, wearing mouthpieces. You don't even wear braces except for the last few months. And then those are Invisalign. He has thousands of cases to show beautiful smiles, no more TMJ, no more jaw problems, no more headaches, no more migraines, no more sleep apnea. 303-690-0100. The new orthodontics. 303-690-0100.
That time we went somewhere and we forgot Addie was still at home. Where were we going and how long was she
Nice.
You said you. You're supposed to say you.
Okay, I'm on.
So we went on vacation
Hold
and
on,
we got
guys.
all the way to the airport and she was
Revitalized Health. That's the name for thehormonebros.com. Revitalized Health is the actual clinic name. A new location, Alameda and Federal. Their original location, 470 in Ken Carroll. You know what? They started out doing optimization of hormones and cosmetic procedures, and they exploded. Why? Because they do such a great job. They're treating me. They're treating Suzanne. They treat all of us at thehormonebros.com. They optimize hormones doing the BioT treatment. Read about it. It's great for men and women for testosterone, estrogen, thyroid. They also have cosmetic procedures like a thread lift for just a few $100s. Now, it gives immediate results with these tiny threads that hold things in place, and then your natural collagen grows in around it for more permanent results. 361-2302. But just remember this, thehormonebros.com. God, it's just so long to eat the hormones, though. They're just so long.
Your kids are way old enough to be home by themselves.
Of course they are, yeah. But I'm talking about they make a mess. A freaking mess.
Well,
I hate, Bonnie will take candy wrapper or ice cream and just leave it there on the counter. Just leave it. I said,
well,
Bonnie,
just handle it.
I tell them, throw the goddamn thing away. I mean, they're just mindless when it comes to that.
No,
and that's
go grab a switch out back, you whack them over the head about 3 times, they'll never do it
seriously,
again.
man, there's so many careless
Pliers,
things
cut
like
a
that.
finger off.
Cut a finger off and mail it to them.
It takes as much time to be neat as it does to be sloppy.
Takes a village.
In fact, more tough. When he comes for the weekend or for a few days and leaves his backpack and everything out all over and looking for shit, it's easier first when you get there to just organize it and be done with it. Why do they do that shit?
I have a 7-year-old. I see it the same
Oh
thing.
my God!
What the heck?
And it's like it
doesn't get better, man.
No.
I must have been a perfect child. I was such an anal person. No, I mean there are kids that just come out that way.
Yeah. Like my wife and I, we're really neat. Don't mess up our books and everything. She's drawn and everything, puts her name in there. Just like you destroy everything instantly.
7. Does she have a dog?
Yes.
Good. That's a necessary thing to show nurturing. You get kids that don't grow up with pets. I know. Kids that don't grow up with pets, I swear to God, are weird.
Our daughter and her cat, I mean, we got 2 dogs too, but man, that cat follows her around like mama. I don't know what we'll do when she goes off to school. That cat will freak out, man.
Denver's Talk Station, 630 KHOW.
Hey, I'm Tom Martino, and I'm your troubleshooter. Solving problems, answering questions, taking complaints, making your life a little easier. We have with us Joe Lazzara, criminal defense attorney. Joe is the man if you're in trouble. And seriously, he can answer legal questions as well. He does. He has done in his career all kinds of law. You've done divorces, right?
Done divorces, personal injury.
Yeah.
You name it.
Yeah. What have you ever done, like corporate law?
I haven't done any corporate. I mean, obviously, I can answer the basics.
Yeah, okay. 303-713-8255. So, in this case, Taylor has a deposit. The landlord's keeping it plus asking for more. You hear this all the time, Joe. We hear it all the time. But doesn't everyone has to show evidence if required, right? I mean, they can't just name it.
Yeah, you have to be able to substantiate your claim. And here it sounds like, what is he specifically asking for? What was damaged?
Yeah.
And an offer of compromise is not a bad thing, and feel free to go back to him with a different offer.
Yeah. So, Taylor, any specific follow-up questions for you, dear?
Yes. So also, the way he decided to take evidence, he actually built his house next door during the first year.
Okay.
And it's a 3-story building.
How long were you there?
2 years.
Okay. So, but what's your question? Having a house next door has nothing to do with it.
Okay, sorry, I'm getting there.
Oh, okay.
He took pictures out his window into our backyard.
Okay.
And is using that as proof as well. Is that legal?
Well, what did he take pictures of, though? You're not telling me what he took pictures of.
Of the backyard, of like looking down into our backyard.
Okay, well, what is you must have something in mind when you're asking this question. Are you asking, is it legal for him to do that?
Yes.
It's his property. I mean, he can't spy on you in such a way that would invade privacy. But this is a very confusing topic and has nothing to do with your case. Invasion of privacy would be peeping through your shower or bathroom or places where, listen, where the naked eye could not see. If you would exercise or get undressed naked, let's say in a window, people could take a picture of it. They could not use a zoom lens to take a picture of it without getting in trouble. Invasion is a weird thing. It's wherever the public can see or do. They're not invading anything. He's taking a picture from his house into the yard. He can do it. I mean, if he got a ladder and did it, it would be weird. But it's his property, so it wouldn't be weird. Not unless it violated an agreement you had. So I don't think you're going in the right direction. You're trying. You're simply make them put up evidence.
Okay, well then I guess that's it. Thank you.
I'm sorry, and I hope things work out for you. Hey, Kevin, what's going on?
Hi, Tom.
What's going on with you, Kevin?
Trying to purchase a camera.
Yes.
Amazon, Nikon.
Yeah. Now be careful. Be careful. When you go to Amazon, some of the products are the brown market.
Gray, they call it. Sure.
Yes, brown too. Not black. Brown. Gray is a different area. Gray is like almost illegal. What brown refers to, I'm calling brown, is the European models and all of that.
Okay.
In other words, they were not manufactured for America.
Right.
So they don't have to offer the same things.
Okay. Well, in understanding that Amazon is an authorized Nikon dealer.
Yes.
And then would you consider when they tag the item with an Amazon Choice logo, would you maybe the onus should be on them?
For what? The onus for what? I don't even know what we're talking about.
Well, I purchased a camera thinking it was, legit, comes with a warranty, etc. Nikon camera.
A brand new one?
Brand new one.
And what happened? Was it made for Europe?
Well, I opened the box and it's got a European electrical adapter on it. That was his first suspicion.
Okay, but does it not have a warranty? Because even European products have warranties. Did it come with no warranty?
My understanding of it is if something failed during warranty, I would have to send it for repair into the manufacturer's repair facility in that market. So
okay.
I have to ship it back to Asia.
Yeah, but is that what you're calling about?
No, if Amazon Choice is somewhat, I guess, even though it's a third-party seller, is that an endorsement by Amazon that is a Nikon dealer?
Yeah, it is, but they're not doing anything wrong. You haven't even stated a problem yet. Is the problem that if something goes wrong and if it's under warranty, you have to send it to a different center than you want?
That would be one. And
well, that's not even an issue. They're honoring the warranty. The fact that you send it to Europe or Asia as opposed to Albuquerque or whatever the hell, California, LA, that's not even an issue. They're not refusing you. I'm trying to find what are you really upset about?
I guess I'm upset that Amazon's endorsing a product that is not warrantable in the U.S.
Amazon's worldwide, though.
They are warrantable.
Everywhere.
They are warrantable. You just have to send it somewhere to be warranted.
But on his behalf, some of them aren't. There's certain phones you can buy that come from Europe. If you buy them in the U.S., they have no warranty. But that's why they're cheaper. That's why they're unlocked.
Yeah, but are you saying should they warn you of this? I think if you look in the discussions or you look on the bulletins or you look, normally it does tell you this. Everything I've purchased on the gray market that you call, everything has said no U.S. warranty but this does have a warranty, though. That's why they didn't warn you. There's nothing to warn you about. You just don't like that you have to send it to another center, which makes no sense. Now, if
would I incur fees, import fees, export fees?
No, there are no import and export for shipping to warranty centers.
No duties.
No, of course not.
It takes a long time, though.
Yeah, but here's the deal. It's not an issue at this point. And by the way, if it's Amazon Choice, just send it back.
Well, Amazon Choice doesn't mean, was it fulfilled by Amazon or not?
Yeah, it was fulfilled by Amazon.
Then you should be able to send it back.
Just return it.
I did.
Oh,
I'm just trying to understand this.
Well,
sorry.
No, don't be sorry, Kevin. But truly, what I mean is this: we are living in an international marketplace right now, and you kind of have to have the buyer beware. And Amazon is not required to give every specification on every product. In fact, warranties are a privilege. They're not required to begin with. They're not even required. Now, they should not be implied if they don't come with one. And yes, if normally Nikon products or Sony products or different products come with a warranty, then, and this one did not have a warranty, yeah, I think they should say something because it's normally assumed you would get one. But it does have a warranty. I don't even understand why this guy is pissed off.
He just simply didn't realize what he was buying, that's all. But he got to send it back, so therefore I don't quite get it.
Hold on.
I thought he was going to say it wasn't fulfilled by Amazon. He couldn't even read
anything this guy said. Fuller, okay.
Construction Slinger Drive on westbound 6th Avenue, approaching Federal. That's a bit of a nightmare anyway. At construction to it, it's not fun. You might want to avoid that altogether. Watch out for possible tire changing eastbound I-70, approaching Kipling, and delays on westbound I-70 in the elevated portion. What the forecast? Slight chance of afternoon? 20 seconds for we're all short. 3. Right now,
first of all, Nikon is a Japanese company.
Traffic in weather, 19 Wagner, 630 K-House.
But do you even understand why he was upset?
I talked to him. I just want you to send it back. Well, I want to make it people know.
You know what I love about the attorneys on my referral list? Like, for example, Joe Lazara, if you're in trouble, you call, you get free advice. Now, if you're injured, where do you call? John Fuller, he'll tell you what is going on. You know, you don't know who to call. You hear from everybody. Do this, do that, do this. Listen, John Fuller would love to take your call. If you're injured in an auto accident or in any other way and you think it might be someone else's fault, give him a call. It won't hurt. 303-597-4500, 597-4500. The website, personalinjuryco.com.
I am still waiting.
GoSober.org. Consumers Real Estate Show. That's right, a real estate show for consumers. All inside information to help you, the consumer. Every Saturday from 8 to 9 a.m. right here on Talk Radio 630 KF. The Consumers Real.
You know, this is the time of year that we're going to have, guess what? We're going to have a lot of hail. A lot of hail damage, and you're going to wonder what to do, and you're going to sure as hell get this. That's a knock at the door. And don't choose a roofer based on a knock at the door. Don't get these so-called free inspections. Do business the way Excel does business. Excel Roofing, the best roofing company, because they will never, ever, ever give you a penalty clause, take money up front, or force you into a contract, or sneak you into a contract. Everything is fully disclosed, and that is excelroofing.com. The best way to do business, excelroofing.com. And when they do a contract, it'll be specified with everything you need. They will explain it to your insurance company, and they will never have a penalty if you get out, and they won't take a dime until you're content. That's excelroofing.com as an excellent 303-761-6400. So Miranda, I tried to get, it was named after somebody.
Yeah, it's Miranda v. Arizona. So the defendant's name is Miranda.
That started this entire...
Yeah. So the U.S. Supreme Court almost did away with Miranda a couple years ago, but said it was so ingrained in the culture of America because that's what we watch on TV.
But why shouldn't we at least be warned?
They're saying the same thing literally about Roe versus Wade, right? Yeah. They're saying even though technically, I guess, I'm not going to pretend to understand what they're saying, it's bad law, for whatever reason, they're saying that it's almost impossible to turn over precedent
Wait.
point.
What do you mean Roe versus Wade? I never heard of that challenge. What was bad law about it, did they say?
Yeah, Clarence Thomas just came out with some statement recently about Roe v. Wade.
What did he say?
Simply saying, like Mark said, it's bad law and the precedent, the basis for it.
But what was the actual ruling?
In Roe v. Wade?
Yeah.
It's a right to, is it right to privacy?
I think it's the state's right. No.
It's a constitutional right.
No, I get that. It's really all it did, though, is moved it from the state. So where the state says you can't get an abortion, correct?
No, I'm not sure.
I'm not going to pretend to know, but I have heard numerous justices
It ruled that due
say
process
it's bad
Hold on, what?
Yeah, it ruled that the due process clause of the 14th Amendment is a fundamental right of privacy.
Now, but why does it say Roe versus Wade? Who we're suing? I don't understand.
Roe was an anonymous lady.
Who sued who?
Sued, I forget who Wade was.
Was Wade a public official? Or
yeah, Wade was a public official.
A judge or a...
Yeah, let me see.
All I've heard from like Kavanaugh and other justices, it has nothing to do with whether...
Hey, Tom, you done with that camera call?
Yeah.
Okay.
Henry Wade was the district attorney of Dallas County.
Nothing to do with whether they...
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They think it should stay or not, but how they came upon that decision was bad laws. That's what I've heard. Whether it is or not, I have no idea. I mean, do you understand what I'm saying, Joe?
Yeah. So with the U.S. Constitution, like different parts of it, like they applied the 14th to the Constitution.
Oh, so they applied the wrong.
Yeah, and they carve out like equal protection. What's equal protection? So they apply and expand equal protection to, let's say, right.
That's very curious, though, about Miranda. I didn't know that. They really said, hey, we should have never done this, but because we did, and we set that precedent, and it's been around in society so much, we're not going to change it. That's pretty wild.
Which is common law. You
Yeah.
know, because
it becomes common law.
Generation to generation. But yeah, I mean, they've chiseled it away, so you can go up and ask them, have you been drinking? How much have you had to drink? Where are you coming from?
Yeah, it
All
just
of
struck
that.
down the state statute banning abortion.
Yeah.
And it was a privacy issue. Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. One clear choice. That's your clear choice for garage doors. OneClearChoiceDoors.com. Chappie and the entire team do a great job. Chris Chapman, the owner, and I call him Chappie because he lets me. And the whole place is just run the same way, like Marines. Seriously, clean cut, on time, perfect service, great products. OneClearChoiceDoors.com for service, whether it's emergency or you want to replace something. Like a beautiful garage door opener they've done 6 of them for me. Yep, in different homes and different doors. Okay, let's talk about your life. Joe Lazzara with us, criminal defense attorney. But let's talk more about your problem, question, complaint. Mac. What's going on with you, Mac? Hi, Mac.
Hello. Hello.
What's happening?
Yes, I have a medical issue, malpractice, or whatever they call it. I have was sent to the Denver house to do a kidney stone through the urology. Okay?
Now, Mac, were you referred by your primary care?
Yes.
You were referred to a urologist.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
and what happened?
When I get there, and the first surgery I go to, they go in there and they said they have to leave a stent in there. They didn't get nothing out. Okay.
Okay, they couldn't remove the stone, but they left a stint to make it easier to pass.
Yes, and okay. So last week I did another surgery. I did another surgery, and after the surgery, the nurse tells me I'm free and clear. I don't got a stone. They send me home with no medications, no nothing.
Why did they go in a second time?
To try to get the stone again.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay, and when they went in there, I came out of surgery, and the nurse told me they took the stone out, and I had the stent laid in me. Okay.
All right.
And they gave me an appointment.
So you had a stent put in the first time as well, right? The second time they took the stone out and left the splint, right?
Yeah.
Okay, keep going. What's that?
Put another one in.
Oh, wait. So now you have 2 different stints, or do you have the first one removed and a new one put in?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, the first one, and they put the stent in, okay? So I had an appointment the next day to go get the stent pulled out, but I was sick. I got sick. my sides start hurting. I start throwing up. I had fever and everything. So I went into the ER.
Okay, and what happened then?
And the ER took the stent out. It took X-rays and said the kidney stone's still in there, and I'm in pain.
Could it have been another? Could it be another one?
No, it's the same
All right.
8-inch one.
All right. So now what? Now what?
In another place. So I go in there to ask them about it, and I've never talked to a doctor, nothing from this place. And so they got me on hold again, and they've done nothing.
Okay, but I'm not hearing any malpractice so far.
Yes, well, they lied to me.
That's not malpractice. That if the nurse said they got it, that's not malpractice. So where's the malpractice?
Yeah, I was just wondering.
Did they do more damage to you? Are you left with a permanent impairment? Did they do more damage to you? What you're explaining is not malpractice. It's poor bedside manner and different kind. It's not malpractice. You're not hurt. Okay. You're not left with worse condition. You're not. Your body produced the kidney stone. They didn't put it in there. There's just. I mean, and don't take my word for it. You'd have to get a doctor to say it's malpractice for you to pursue a suit. There's no malpractice, Mac. You just don't like the treatment you're getting. So you can change medical providers, or we can talk some more coming back. I'm Tom Martino. Are you looking for?
I thought he was going to say they left the junior mint in there.
You know what I love about Mitch Floria, the owner? He's proud of what he does and will give prices on the phone. All you have to do is call him.
Seinfeld, he didn't get it.
What'd you say?
I said, I thought he was going to say they left the junior
He
mint.
passed a junior mint?
That's pretty big stone if you got to go in a kidney to get it, because they blast a lot of it.
You can do it with, not sonar. What do they use now?
Sonar.
Is
Well,
it sonar?
ultrasound, or it's sonic.
If you eat a lot of butter, it'll come right out. Just start
Jesus, you know
shoving
what?
down butter.
I'm telling you that kidney stones.
I've never had one, never will.
Oh my God!
I don't know anybody in my family
I've
that's
never
ever had one.
They said it's the worst.
You ever had one?
No.
They're very hereditary, though. If your family has them, you have them.
Oh, really? Yeah, I hear they're painful. Insane.
Worse than having a kid, they say.
Stephanie had one last week. Thomas, Mike's wife. That's why she wasn't here with Frank.
Oh, really? Ooh, did she pass it then?
Yeah, she's had more than. I mean, she gets them.
So women can get it.
Oh yeah. That sounds even worse, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Well, not to me.
I don't know.
All sounds
just
the
the
same.
idea of how they go in and.
No, please don't even talk. Okay, just don't.
This from the guy that's a monster in the cage fighting.
No, that's for sure.
I thought you fought people in the cage while passing a kidney stone.
Remember when Kramer passed that one and he screamed at the circus?
They actually talked about it on Seinfeld, kidney stones.
Yeah.
Did they?
He got it and he passed it at a circus and he screamed so loud that the lions were roaring. A guy fell off the trapeze.
Fucking crazy.
And he comes out of there after passing it. It was just like.
Boy, I bet you feel good afterwards.
Oh,
Your
that's what he
face
did. Kramer
is my
did.
case.
Kramer did.
Oh, he had another line, Jackie, that I can't remember now, but it was on the bra one, during the bra trial. He was explaining to the judge how it was egregious.
Oh, it doesn't fit.
But no, not that line. But there was three things like in the other one. It's egregious, but he didn't use the same ones. Preposterous, he used three different ones. And it was really good, man, but I got to listen to it and remember that one. He's my favorite lawyer.
Who told her to put
on Seinfeld. Jackie he should have his own show. That show was so funny. Your case is my face.
Who told him on that one to try to put the bra on to see if it fit?
The caddy.
Very good.
I like how Kramer brings his caddy anywhere. And his caddy's like, listen, here's what I do. I'd wear the pink vest with the leather shoes. The guy makes all his decisions. You mean the candy bar airs? Ooh, that's a good candy bar. That's got almonds and buttermilk and chocolate. He sues a coffee shop. Cause remember when McDonald's, the lady had the really hot coffee? So that same year, Seinfeld did an episode where he spills coffee on himself. and he goes and sees his attorney, Jackie Childs.
Oh, yeah, I remember that one.
So, but then Kramer, who spilled it on himself, finds a Chinese bomb and puts the bomb on, and the burn goes away. And Jackie's all pissed that the burn's gone. You used a bomb? Who told you to use a bomb? You're not supposed to use a bomb.
I didn't tell you to use a bomb. And who told him to use a bomb?
Who did tell him to use a bomb?
Maestro.
Maestro told him to use the bomb. You know, I feel bad for some of our PI attorneys on the calls they must get. Just, you know, can of soup fell on my toe at Walmart. I want to sue him. Is your toe broke? No. Does it still hurt? No.
I love when they try to make it an emotional or psychological because
I could have died.
They know they don't have any physical. Yeah, I could have.
I could have died.
I could have.
They almost killed me.
I could have. They could have killed my baby.
Yeah,
right,
that's a big one. They could have killed my kid.
And truly,
but
they could have.
Look at
you don't sue on it.
Where was it where the cops, the little 4-year-old took a little baby doll out of the dollar store. The cops ripped him out of the car at gunpoint. Okay. This just happened.
How old?
They're suing for $10 million because they could have been killed.
How old was the baby?
4.
They pulled the baby out?
They pulled the whole family out of the car at gunpoint.
Okay.
And they kept him at gunpoint for a long time.
That could be severe emotional trauma for sure.
Oh, hell yeah, for that kid.
I don't know. I had a client who, his wife was they were in an accident together. His wife lost her leg. And he wasn't hurt, but we got him $100,000 for the emotional distress.
If you think about it, you're right though. That kid could be. You can't. You don't even know how fucked up a 4-year-old's going to be due to that. It's impossible to look into the future.
And you watch that video.
She's never going to want. She's never going to like cops. I'll tell you that.
Why did they do that?
Fuck if I know. The mayor came out and apologized.
Were they black?
It's It's
Oh,
the same thing always.
There you go.
And they didn't know they were on fucking video.
Yeah, the video was like up above some guy.
It was. I couldn't believe it. If someone told me that happened, I'd say no fucking cop's gonna do that.
Okay, I gotta see the video. What's it called?
Just a dollar store cops.
It was dollar store.
Was it in Phoenix?
This just happened.
Oh, yeah, dude, this video was
Were they security or cops?
Cops.
Okay, here it is. 4-year-old took a doll from store.
And they didn't even know. The parents didn't even know she had the doll. You know, they're in the dollar store. The kid just grabbed it. Like Dan, he just grabbed shit at Walmart.
How much did it cost?
$1.
Fuck these news sites. Fuck these news sites that make you buy a...
Just Google it.
I'll
YouTube.
never look at one of these sons of bitches ever in a million years.
Can you believe that in this day, though, with video everywhere, not just cops, anybody's stupid to think someone's not watching.
Oh, come on. This is bullshit.
You know when we do a lot of these cop cases...
Why did they come out with a gun to begin with?
Do they disappear a lot?
They turn them off, they silence them, or they'll turn away. You know, you're over here, they're talking to you.
So they know what's happening.
Oh, come on, this gun. Jesus, Family Dollar.
This Costco one, I think.
And that's why they were called, because a $1 baby doll that the 4-year-old took.
Yeah, I heard they were in the store in another case. And they're doing something else. And then somebody said, hey, she's doing... I don't know.
It's outrageous, man. There was no reason for that, no matter how you look at it. Oh, the other thing was, her window wouldn't roll down or the door was broke. So the cops are telling her to get out, and you can hear her in the video go, my door's broke, my window doesn't roll down. And he's like, don't you fucking move, you get the fuck out now, and the guns come blaring. Shit. Dan's convinced, though, that anytime there's video evidence that the cops have, it disappears. That goes against them. Or not all the time, but more than enough. Is that true? Would you agree with that?
I think it disappears occasionally.
What did the police chief do?
Amazing. Apologize. Same with the mayor.
Hey, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. We got 2 lines open, 303-713-TALK. This is the only place anywhere to call about any problem and get it solved. Think about it. It's the only radio show of its kind anywhere, ever. The only. And, of course, we recover more in a year than most law firms. In cash merchandise, exchanges, refunds, and services. Our guest today, we always have guests in from the referral list, or we try to referralist.com. Joe Lazzara, criminal defense attorney, answered a few questions, and he'll answer for you. So give us a call now. What's happening? Mac's very upset. Very upset. Joe, you used to do all kinds of stuff, including personal injury, and he's upset because he was referred to a urologist. He had 2 surgeries to try to get a kidney stone. They put stents in. They never got the stone. The nurse said in the recovery room, "We got it all. Don't worry about it." Is that malpractice?
It's not malpractice. There's no breach. There's no negligence that occurred. Obviously, I understand why he's upset. I'd be upset too.
Yeah.
But there's no legal claim there.
I mean, he's upset that he still has a stone. He always had a stone. They didn't do the stone. So, Mac?
Yes.
What would you think is malpractice about it?
Yeah, it's unprofessional.
Yes. It is unprofessional if she lied to you. But she might be giving her opinion. Hey, I thought they got it all, and I wanted to keep his hopes up. Or we did get it all, but there was one in there we didn't get. It doesn't matter. They didn't do anything wrong. They didn't go in there and rip you open. Or they didn't take out a testicle, and call it a stone. They didn't do anything wrong. They just didn't do enough right.
Yeah. I'm still in pain behind it.
Man, that sucks. Can you get help somewhere else?
That's what I'm looking into. You know, can I file against them doctors?
But file for what, Mac? What are you filing? They didn't give you the kidney stones. What are you filing for?
They went in there for nothing and didn't do nothing.
No, they didn't go in there for nothing. They went in there and they could have gotten maybe some stones. They put a stent in, but you can't say they did it for nothing. Are you saying you were opened up and they just looked at you and then put you back together? Come on.
No, they didn't do that.
What did they actually do? Do you know?
Nothing. They didn't do their job.
What is their job? I don't know if they did their job, Mac. What is their job? What were they supposed to do?
To break up the kidney stones and take them out.
Okay. Did you ask them straightforward, why did you not remove them?
I never talked to a doctor. They wouldn't let me talk to the doctors.
Here's what you say. Here's what you say. If you can't talk to a doctor, you're suing for malpractice because you need to know some simple answers. Did they get any kidney stones at all? And if not, why? You tell them that. But listen, Mac, between you and me, you don't have anything to sue for. I mean, what are you going to sue for? That they opened you up and did not take out kidney stones?
Yes, they did not do that.
Well, okay. Do you have, hold on, do you have $100,000 because that's what it will cost to get to court?
No.
Okay. Now, Mac, I know that you think you're going to find an attorney on contingency, but what are your damages? Your body created these kidney stones. The question is, are you in any worse condition now than you were? And if so, how much is it worth? Because if an attorney has to put up $100,000 to get this to court, do you think you have $1 million in damages?
No, maybe
That's the problem. That's the problem, Mac. Not that you don't have a problem. It's that it's not malpractice worth. You know, I'm not giving you legal advice. I'm just giving you practical advice. And here's how you're going to know. Ask enough attorneys. You won't find anyone to take that case. But, however, why did they open you up? I'd want to know. I would ask the same exact question. I would demand answers. Why did you open me up and do nothing? And they're going to have, you know what? You can just ask for all of your medical records. Just ask for those. That's all. You don't even have to talk to them. Their notes will say one stone was we couldn't get to without getting to a major artery, another stone, blah, blah, blah. Something they wouldn't have known without opening you up. So, Mac, call today and ask for a complete transcript of the surgical notes, okay?
Yes.
And then you will know what they did and why they did it. Bruce says he wants to give some advice to Mac. So listen to this, Mac. Go ahead, Bruce.
Hey, Tom, thanks very much.
Yes.
We have a board of medical examiners. Their whole point is to protect consumers.
Okay.
If Mac remembers the story correctly, and he was lied to by his medical team, and the doctors never talked to him. To me, that warrants a complaint to the Board of Medical Examiners.
Okay.
And they have inspectors to look at the facts of the case, get both sides, and they have the power to remove the licenses from these doctors.
Do you think they
were
would?
just completely unprofessional.
Do you think they would?
If they lied to a patient,
I don't know.
If they basically double
and you say
charged
they
the insurance company?
Yeah, no, you're right. If they did, but you have a nurse who said we got it all, and she might be talking out her butt. I mean, I don't know, but thank you for that. Board of Medical Directors, I think it's called something else, or is it called Board of Medical Directors? I'm not sure actually, but you're right. He should complain. If nothing else, it was unprofessional. 303-713-TALK. 303-713-8255. Dirk! What's going on, Dirk? What's happening?
Hi, Tom.
Hey, what's going on with you?
Tom, the reason for my call, I'll just summarize it as quick as I can. My youngest son, who is now 13, suffered a severe asthma attack 3 years ago, which resulted in him vomiting, and he suffered an hypoxic brain injury.
Oh, my God.
Due to inhaling the vomit into his lungs.
Oh, my God. Was he asleep?
Yes.
Oh. So he has permanent brain damage?
Yes, he does.
Oh,
He's
my.
currently about 95% blind due to lack of oxygen to his optic nerves.
How did this happen?
There was an asthma attack that occurred in the night, and as a result of that, he coughed extremely hard, threw up, and then inhaled that into his lungs. Fortunately, myself and two other family members realized what had happened, and we immediately performed rescue breathing and CPR, obviously after calling 911.
My God.
This happened on December 27th, which was not very good timing in terms of having...
So what is your concern? What can we answer or help you with?
Well, shortly after he got out of the hospital after about a 6-month stay and being in a coma.
6 months in the hospital?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
He was able to return to school in a special ed type environment, which he's remained in since then. And
now, does he have does he have conscious thought? Like, I mean, obviously he has conscious. What I mean is, does he know what happened to him? Like, oh, Dad, I used to be smarter, or I feel this, or I feel that, or is it something that, what does he express?
He's actually remarkably
astute.
Well recovered, much more so than what was expected.
But he understands what happened to him. He has cognitive abilities.
He does. Yeah.
Okay. And, so is he struggling to communicate, or does he not even have the thought?
He can communicate.
Okay.
His disabilities are essentially, he's considered to be permanently disabled and expected to be for the rest of his life, both mentally and physically, much like someone who's had a stroke.
Okay, gotcha. So now what can we help you with?
Well, my question is, shortly after he returned home from the hospital, I was approached by a friend of mine who I won't name, and he had indicated that he had overheard, and I'll preface that by saying that this is a small town environment. He had overheard an individual with the volunteer fire department in the town that we live in. He had overheard an individual indicate that if they didn't get sued, that he would be very surprised.
Well, so what? I mean, people talk so stupid. I mean, what could they possibly be sued for? I mean...
Well, the basis of it, according to this gentleman who I trust explicitly, he indicated that he had served on this particular emergency medical response entity.
Yes.
And that their methods for dispatching care were not up to par.
First of all, is it voluntary or is it paid service?
voluntary.
Yeah. The chances of you on a Good Samaritan or voluntary, I mean, they don't even have to do it, let alone when they did it and how they did it. Here's the thing. They do have a responsibility to a certain responsibility, but not what you think. And the thing is let me just say what you're up for. Hold on. Let's really go through what you would have to do to prove negligence to a voluntary EMT service and pursue it for damages. Let's figure it out. Because the question is not whether they caused that. They did not cause it. But how much more harm and how much more disability is there as a direct response of their negligence? Wrong fucking idea about negligence.
This report is
Such the wrong idea.
1 minute, Raleigh House long.
Don't people misunderstand negligence?
Oh, yeah. And you know, there's so many exceptions to this, too. You feel bad for the guy, but...
Of course. But here's the thing. If we don't get sued, we'll be... First of all, people talk out their ass all the time. They
may not legally understand whether there's exposure or not. It's just...
For their dispatch methods. Okay, how many more minutes did it take? Did those minutes directly correlate to more damage?
Right.
And by what degree?
Yeah. And then, the whole volunteer component to it.
Right now at Napa Auto Care Centers, when you spend $250 on Napa brake parts, you can get a $75 prepaid Visa card.
Couldn't even imagine what he's going through.
Okay, got a spot. What causes an addiction? And then, what behaviors do you observe where you think there's a problem? And then, how do you bring up that topic to someone? And what do you do about it if there is an addiction, especially if they don't want to do anything about it? You see, there are millions of questions when it comes to addiction. The Raleigh House knows this. The Raleigh House is a locally owned and operated, locally founded addiction treatment facility, several locations in the metro area, even outside the metro area in rural settings as well. And they're dedicated to answering your questions. They know it's difficult to do anything at all for an addict. If there's an addict in your life, you need answers. Any question. Cost, insurance, triggers, behavior, what to do, what not to do. 720-730-9722. Free. Confidential. 720-730-9722.
People do not understand ACV, man.
What's that, Mark?
People don't understand actual cash value policies. It's like this older woman is just, you're going to end up calling her, by the way.
Screwed, blued, and tattooed?
I simply can't get through to her, so you're going to end up calling her because she's...
She thinks she should be covered.
She's pleading to you because she's listened to you for 30 years. She doesn't want to hear what...
CentryRV.com. Century as in the 100 mark. CENTURY. Century RV. That's the place Mark went for his beautiful motorhome. They have beautiful motorhomes, Class A's. They also have campers and fifth wheels, including Cougar. They're the largest Cougar dealer in the country with the best prices. 303-453-1111. 303-453-1111. 2 locations in Lakewood and up north near Longmont and I-25.
Have you noticed that everything is typed correctly and spelled correctly on the call monitor today? Everything is going just wonderfully smooth. It's crazy. I've never seen...
Oh, they're very, very good.
Never seen anybody handle phone calls.
Very good.
It's incredible.
I think
Absolutely
it's because...
incredible. Nate, you're killing it today. You're doing a great job, man. I've never seen a fill-in.
Never seen a fill-in this good, ever.
Do anything like this before. It's like you've been doing it for years. Do you think he could run over to P.O. boxes and do different
Probably
stuff like
cook dinner, too.
Make cookies.
He can I'll bet you he can make cookies.
Good cookies?
I'll bet you he'll give me a back rub.
Or a reach around.
Tom wants to know if you'll give him the reach around.
And
we just went off the course.
Ask him if he'll come out and wash my airplane in Speedo.
Will you wash his plane in your Speedo for him?
It's gotta be private.
That would be. We could make the funniest video like that, though. It'd go viral.
Oh my God.
We'd want some super fat guy, though.
I'm pretty sure Nate has a girlfriend. Watch it.
I just made Stephanie laugh, so I said, Griffin, let's go wash the planes with our Speedos.
We don't want to wear, okay?
I said,
I won't be there, but Tom will.
I said, Griffin, on the next sunny day, let's go out and wash the airplanes in our Speedos, and Stephanie almost choked.
Well, that's what I would do. That's the best, man. Watch airplanes on the ramp, just out there tanning.
But just that, every time you say that, Speedos, everyone gets that image and just starts laughing.
If you go to beaches anywhere besides basically here in Mexico, that's all guys wear those Speedos. When we were in Punta Cana, I was like the only guy in regular fucking bathing suits.
I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK. 713-8255. You know, you guys get a special treat who listen off the air. That's all I can tell you. Joe Lazara is here today. Behind the scenes, I mean broadband, YouTube, Facebook, and all that. We leave it up and running. Anyway, let's talk. I want people to understand something. My heart goes out to them if they have a medical issue and something happened, a problem. My heart goes out to you. So let's talk about it, because you could have a serious problem, but is it malpractice? Now, let me explain something to Dirk. Dirk, okay, in your case, your son tragically had an asthma attack, which made him vomit while he was sleeping. It all led to a lack of oxygen and brain damage. So that was taking place anyway. Now, the EMTs, one was speaking out his butt and said, I'm surprised if we don't get sued because of dispatch methods. Let's get right to it. Let's say they have a piss-poor way of dispatching, which caused them to be delayed. Here is your burden of proof, Dirk. You must show that the delay, whatever it was, 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 3 minutes, 16, and it has to be that specific. You must prove first the negligence caused the delay. That's first. Now to show that once it was delayed, that it led not to the condition, because the condition was happening anyway, but how more severe was the condition. Not that your son is permanently impaired, but he's permanently impaired more so. And that is a matter of degree. So you don't get to collect on the damage, you get to collect on the extra damage caused by the delay with a direct correlation. Now, I am not telling people never to pursue malpractice ever. I'm not saying that. Or negligence. What I'm saying is people are sadly mistaken as to how difficult it is, and sometimes not worth it. Because if your son was going to be 90% impaired and now he's 92% impaired, you will find no attorney to take the case. And what I mean by that is attorneys have to invest to get to the courtroom entrance a minimum in every single malpractice case, a minimum of $100,000. There is no way to get to the courthouse without spending $100,000. That's for experts, records, time, investigations, all of that. Now, that means you have to just get there. Then you have a trial if it goes to trial. So you have $100,000 with probably an 80% chance it won't go forward. Once it goes forward, now you have for a trial $200,000. So now you're looking at $300,000 investment. For an attorney to take on a $300,000 risk, they want a minimum of more than double, which is a $2 million verdict, because they don't want to just get their $300,000 back. The only exception to this is when they can make case law that bears their name that is so powerful that it will get them business for years and years and years to come. Now, so far, Joe, have I accurately stated everything?
Exactly, and that's the number one deterrent is the money and the time.
And the attorneys. Now, I'm not saying there was no negligence, but here's another thing people mistake for negligence. The other guy mistook the nurse saying, well, we got it all, as negligence or malpractice. It's not. It's after the fact. The fact that she said it made it no worse or no better. So it's not what happened that he was upset about. It's what she said. Now you have an EMT saying, if we don't get sued, I'd be surprised. That's inadmissible. That's not even evidence. That's simply some guy talking out his butt. Now what you have to do is connect the dots. But make no mistake, Dirk, if truly your son laid there and could have been saved and had no paralysis and no damages, and you can link it truly to negligence, you could have a case. However, now you have the voluntary component. It's voluntary, and it's probably not considered on the same level as someone who charges. But let's go there, Dirk. Are you looking for damages because you feel they truly contributed to it?
Yes, Tom, and my motivation, I wanted to add to this, too, not to sound overly dramatic, but my motivation being that I'm 55 years old. My wife is close to that same age. We had this young boy late in life. My motivation is in the event that I'm not in a capacity to provide for him financially at some point down the road, that had he have been able to...
Dirk, I hear you.
A normal existence.
I hear you, Dirk.
Fine, but he could be in a position where he's going to be very challenged for the rest
First
of
of all,
his life.
by the way, motivation does count for me as to how much I want to help. And let me explain something. Most people aren't as honest as you. You need money, so if your wife and you are away, he can be cared for. But I want to say something. Oh, by the way, 303-713-TALK. We have open lines right now, wide open, and I promise I'll get you. 303-713-8255. Dirk, here's the deal, okay? Do you, just because this guy said that, what is the negligence in responding? What was the negligence? Tell us what it is, because you're going to have to make a case. What is the negligence? If you can't state it, it's not there. What is it?
Essentially, the negligence exists around the process in which an emergency call is placed.
Not the process, the part that is negligent.
Oh, I believe the part is that they were not able to respond in a manner that they should have been due to their system.
Well, no, it has to be specific. And not only that, listen carefully, they have to have known that it was defective.
Right, and the situation being, Tom, is that I have learned through some of my own casual questioning, if you will, of other individuals, that my son's situation was not the first time in this area that someone was not responded to in the manner that they should have been.
Now that is what you call evidence and precedent. But, Dirk, nothing would make me happier than you winning the lottery or a lawsuit that would set your son up for care the rest of his life. So let's get that out of the way, because I don't want you thinking I'm being a pain in the ass. But this is a battle that you must get an attorney to take on, because you would never be able to afford it.
Right.
Okay, so start calling attorneys. But I'm going to tell you that the delay has to be such that this would have never happened. Now, was there enough damage done before they even got there? In other words, Was it the delay that caused the incapacity right now? If it's a degree of incapacity, forget it. You're never going to be able to slice it up.
Well, I asked a doctor theoretically when he was at Children's Hospital, which, by the way, did a phenomenal job.
Go ahead.
I asked the doctor theoretically, had he have been picked up by the helicopter, which life flighted him to the hospital, had he have been picked up 3 minutes sooner, would the situation be different? And the doctor said, well, theoretically, since that's the question, anytime we have someone who's been without oxygen, whether it's near drowning, a stroke, or in the case of my son, a hypoxic injury, not only do minutes count, but even seconds.
Okay, you're going to need experts to say this. So, again, I'm going to set you up with a consultation with someone, and then that's all I can do. Because I don't know what's going on, and I don't think you're a money grubber. I think you care about your boy. Is there any hope of him recovering and getting better?
According to the neurologists and doctors, probably not.
How old is he?
13.
Oh, my God. Oh, my goodness gracious. Oh.
The accident happened when he was 10. Part of the reason why...
Whoa. Bro. You're beyond the statute of limitations.
Well, that was part of my question, but at the same time, I was told that...
For negligence, Joe. For negligence. When? What?
Yeah, typically, I think it's 3 years in his circumstance, but there is some qualifiers for minors.
Oh.
And then you also have to look in, when did he become aware that the negligence or so-called negligence.
Okay, hold on a second so we can get you with someone, okay?
Okay, thank you, Tom.
All right, 303-713-TALK.
This report is sponsored by...
I said give him the Marco.
Yeah. Where's so-and-so? You never heard the game?
Where is so-and-so?
Where's Marco Polo? You never heard that game?
That's funny.
Who does Med
Who am I doing?
Who does what?
Who do you guys send your Med now?
Bendinelli. His name ends in a vowel.
All our names end in vowels.
And construction clogging up the drive westbound 6th Avenue, either side of
Everyone. There's not one Italian whose last name doesn't end in a vowel.
Yeah, there is.
Prove it! Theoretically.
Actually, wait a minute.
Pizza, spaghetti.
No. Actually, I don't know. There is one. Let's see.
I think unless they changed it, I think they all ended in a vowel.
I think they did.
Like, I know Martins, but they were Martinos, right? Or Martinis. Let's talk about the original stem cell clinic anywhere in the entire world. Dr. Chris Centeno did it right here in Colorado. He continues to do it with Centeno Schultz. He also has a string of clinics called Regenex. And it's the place that has the most extensive dossier of, they have cases going back years and years, so they can draw from that experience to predict success and even failure. And if stem cell isn't indicated, they have other treatments because they're MDs. Stay away from the fakes. Stay away from chiropractors claiming to do living stem cell therapy. Stay away from even doctors claiming to do living stem cell therapy. Stick with the real deal. Go to their seminars or get an evaluation, which insurance pays for in most cases. Centeno Schultz, 303-963-9201, 963-9201. AvoidSurgeryToday.com. AvoidSurgeryToday.com. Sponsor over 29.
Sorry about that. 25 seconds, K&H long. K&H long.
The run will benefit the Jeremy Bittner Fallen Officer Fund by assisting families affected by the loss of an officer in the line of duty. Please join the Berg Simpson Law Firm in supporting the Jeremy Bittner Fallen Officer Fund.
How good are you at reading the jury, man? You generally know when they deliberate and come back. Are you 80%?
I got some here, Mark. K&H has 30% off your project of windows, siding, and doors. Now that's 30% off their routine low price. But here's the deal. If you mention Martino or Tom or Pain in the Ass or Troubleshooter or anything to do with me, you get an additional 10% off entry doors. Call now, 303-421-7100. 303-421-7100. Or better yet, book your own no-obligation home visit at khwindows.com. khwindows.com. I've known these guys for like 30-some-odd years. Ted took over about 30 years ago, Ted Rowland. And he does a beautiful job of carrying on the tradition of Henry at K&H Windows in the beginning. Now they're K&H Home Solutions because they've spread their product line. So call them, 303-421-7100, or make your own appointment, khwindows.com.
Building relationships during recovery.
No.
Well, you can tell read a jury usually before you even start.
That's what I'm saying, so you know.
And you can tell the ones to play to and the jury.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So, during voir dire, you get a good feel on it.
Hey, I got my mom online, too.
What is she calling about?
She's so excited to give kudos about the carpet doctor.
How often are you stunned?
Not very often. Yeah. Usually.
She's like, what do I say? What do I say? It's like, just relax.
She loves him.
Oh, she loves you. And she loves
But did they go nuts on their
They
carpet?
did an amazing job. I referred them to her. They did
Who
a
is it?
phenomenal job. Carpet doctor, man. They're great. Matthew Valdez.
What, do they fix stuff?
No. Wait, carpet doctor. Our guy who did the 129? He's not.
Oh, you mean the shampoo guy?
Yeah, who cleans the carpets.
Yeah, but which
basement
one?
guy?
Jim Ross, that's his name.
No, Matthew Valdez.
Jim Ross is the crook. What are you talking about?
Oh, no.
Matthew Valdez,
Mike
he's
Ross.
the owner.
Mike Ross.
Mike Ross.
His partner is the one who does the work.
No, then you got the wrong guy.
I don't know who we're talking about.
Yeah.
The carpet doctor on the referral list.
That's Mike Ross.
Who's Mike Ross? Oh, Mike and Matthew Valdez are both partners then.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're
That's-
gay.
Right, I know.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. They did a
They
phenomenal
usually
job.
both come. That's
I
true.
didn't know.
I've never
They're
seen that.
they've done a
Well, of course they
phenomenal
both
job.
come.
Oh my god. Anyway, my mom's excited to talk to you, bro.
Okay. No, they do it together.
Get his
don't
number up so we can give it out.
They do
He's
it
at like 140.
they? Ask Suzanne to do that, please.
Yeah. Hey, put Mike Ross's number up so we can give it out. And then is it 129 for the whole house now? Do you guys remember?
You might say, let me look at his.
I think it's 129, but doesn't include the basement.
That's cheap.
Oh, dirt cheap.
Wow. I just can clean mine on my own Sunday, and it's like,
Oh, you do it. For 129, he'll do it for you.
I would have done that in a heartbeat.
Yeah. If you have a finished basement or a walkout, it's an extra $30 or whatever. But
No
other than
extra for
that,
stairs.
it's none of this per room and all that BS.
Hey, this is important. If you want a beautiful shower, Renew Home Innovations. Renew Home Innovations, a beautiful shower. And they have solid porcelain walls they can put up. Have you ever seen solid porcelain? They can do it in the whole bathroom or just the shower. Then they also have something called Serica or Serica. And Serica is by Kohler. By the way, they do all of the Kohler stuff. They are the Kohler guys. They are the authorized Kohler people. Renew Home Innovations. We are getting great reviews on these guys. If you want a beautiful bathroom, especially, they specialize in those showers. They can also do walk-in tubs the right way. 303-904-2000. 904-2000. Renew Home Innovations.com. Okay, now, let's talk. Irene wants to give a kudos to somebody she got off the referral list, carpet doctor. What's going on, Irene?
Hi there, Tom. Is this Tom Martino?
It is the famous, the one, the only.
Famous Tom Martino. How are you today?
Very well, thank you. What is happening?
I had a fabulous experience getting my carpet cleaned with Carpet Doctor.
Yes.
2 weeks ago. And the gentleman that came to my house was Mike, and his customer service was absolutely fantastic.
He is the
And
bomb.
my carpet looked completely brand new when he got done.
He's cool.
He even included all of my rugs in the house and did a stellar job.
That is so cool. And by the way, Carpet Doctor, I can't believe the price they have. They have a one price. $139, and there is no upselling. That's it, $139 in and out, and it doesn't matter how big your house is. That's what I just saw. It doesn't include the basement, but everything else, everything else except the basement. Now, you can have the basement done for a little more. I know these guys are great. So, man, that is so cool. Thank you, Irene.
truckers. I don't know about
No,
pilots.
ICE